from what fans will say, like fans chanting, and that adds to it in a lot of respects. However, like you say, kick his head in, break his neck,
Chinese burn,
do you know what I mean? That classic.
You can get far more than basketball, entertainment, cage girls, and the gravel, but it's not always necessarily a good thing.
I can understand why promoters do it. I know entertainment, you know, they want people to have a good night out.
I've seen some crazy stuff, man. Like, the passes for entertainment, that's harsh, I suppose. But like, I don't get what it adds to a show. Understandably, you've got like a gap. Maybe you want to kind of bring something in, but like seeing like 3 skinny guys backflipping for 30 minutes does stretch the limits of kind of the plausible.
Let's just call them extracurricular activities, shall we? You know, again, it's more. There's certainly plenty of instances in my past coming up through, you know, when the sport was evolving and people would have Sideshow Bob on this show and, you know, sword swallowers, fucking, you know, majorettes, people doing everything except fighting, really.
You sit there and you go, like things that annoy me, things like charity raffles or auctions. I mean, you sit there and think an hour later, and you're still trying to flog something, or you'll get someone who hasn't done a day's training in their life, and they've just won a big tub of some sort of supplement, and it's like, and they sit there waving it about on their head like that, and you're just like, stop.
I don't particularly care for street dance groups, acrobatics, breakdancers, entertainers. I mean, I've seen all sorts.
Ultimate Ball, it's great. Now, to be honest, I think Ultimate Ball's the kind of thing that should be done in gyms, yeah, to keep everybody entertaining. But you know what? If I'd paid money to come and see a mixed martial arts fight, I don't want to see groups of people throwing balls around trying to get them in nets.
You know, who says you have to fill a break? You know, people want to go buy beers, they want to go to the toilet, this and that. I'm not a fan of it. I'm going to be honest, but I can see why people do it.
Yeah, I mean, MMA, it's a crazy game, you know, and I think it does attract a lot of sort of like maverick individuals. I mean, back in the day, we had probably the biggest foul ever in our Skydome shows when someone decided to streak into the cage, and it was horrific, but funny, but horrific. The funniest part, though, was actually watching Mark Goddard's face.
Twice it's happened to me. I'm still the only person, to my knowledge, who's had a naked streaker run in at the Coventry Skydome.
And some of the other things that happen in shows, you know, when you go to shows and there's a rapper in the middle doing some stupid rap, and you know, people breathing fire and doing break dancing and acrobatics.
I remember the fight was less than enthralling, shall we say, and next thing I've heard this crowd erupt behind me, and I'm like, fucking, it's not for this fight, come on, what's going on? I turn around, there's a bloke there jumping over. I mean, I think about it now, like, you know, I'm thinking when he jumped over, he took a risk in catching his meat in two veg, shall we say, jumping over the fence, and then I saw him run to the other side, and I went after him, and I thought, I'm not fucking tackling a naked, I'm not taking the back of a naked man, I'm not doing it, and I just let the security come in.
Why are people, are you looking around, nobody's particularly entertained by it. You know, if you've got some girls dancing, the only thing that it serves a purpose for is just to get more guys leering and shouting, get your minge out. You know, does anybody want that at a show? Does anybody want to encourage more of that? I know it's not what I'd want to see more of, but you know, to each their own, and I'm sure every promoter's got their own reason for putting this kind of stuff on.
Ring girls, awesome. I love them when they wear the little shorts and they have a wardrobe misfunction and they've got no underwear on underneath, and you get a bit of a beef curtain moment going on.
Do you know what? This is about fighting, actually fighting. It's not about doing martial arts and spinning back kicks. I find it ironic sometimes that all the people in the audience there are looking for, you know, they've come to see real fighting mixed martial arts, and then in between you put on some stupid buffoon doing jumping, spinning 360 pirouette kicks. It was like two opposite ends of the scale. One of them looks great and is never ever going to work, and the other one might not look pretty sometimes. That's effective. But guess what? Fighting isn't pretty.
The best one actually ever was at Amma. Seriously. When this girl came out, she must have been 6'2" in her heels, had the biggest tits I've ever seen in my life, and all she had on was a body stocking, and it was like, oh my God. Sledge was nearly coming in his pants. It was just phenomenal. And on the same show, there was a young lady sat ringside who had no knickers on. The paramedics were dropping their pens, as was Sledge, to bend over and have a furtive glance. And the thing is, she knew it was happening because she was sat there with her legs wide open, grinning like a fucking demon. It was awesome. I mean, Sledge must have broke his neck about 3 times in that show. It was brilliant, it was. But I'm glad I wear glasses when I referee, because that ring girl's nipples were out so far. If she'd have turned around quick, she'd have had my eye out. I'm not joking.
Are you recording?
Yeah.
Never mind hearing the fucking crowd shout. How's about sticking with a cornerman? Let me tell you, over the years, I've heard the most inane, inept shite ever. Even to the point where I thought to myself, and I've heard a corner say this to a guy, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, mate, don't do that. I'm thinking to myself, don't do that. Cried, never mind just the crowd. You get the usual guys now. You expect it from the crowd. You expect it from the pissheads in the crowd and the guys who don't know any different. But from a guy who's cornering a fighter, I'm like, what? Really? Yeah, I've heard everything. Unbelievable.
And offensive people. I never forget when we were up in Liverpool quite a while ago, and a guy was fighting a fighter from Liverpool, and this guy had bought maybe 5 or 6 of his kind of fans there, and he's in this place, and it's full of Scousers, obviously, and this guy goes for the takedown and gets it, and this Liverpool guy's on the floor, and one of his fans, as it went quiet because he got the takedown, one of his fans shouted, "Smash the Scouse cunt," right? Dead loud, and at the whole point, the whole arena kind of drew in, and even his mates who were standing by went, all right, so settle down, pick your battles.
The crowd's the crowd, isn't it? I mean, you get the educated ones and the uneducated ones. The educated ones know what they're looking at, and the uneducated ones go, rip his fucking head off, Mind you, some ring girls we know do that, don't they? Especially when, no, we won't go there.
You can do it, that's funny. It wasn't funny when fucking Schneider said it. Loads of shit like that. I was at an event not too long ago and somebody said, stab him. I'm not even joking, legitimately said stab him. Do you know what I mean? It's been a K1, quite quiet, a few shots in, and I heard somebody say stab him, and yeah. But it doesn't really add a lot to the whole kind of the whole proceedings, really.